Hello, my friends. On the picture on my screen, it's just one of the Democratic governors who are putting in and trying to enforce laws to limit people from doing things that they have a citizen right to do. Now, the governor from Pennsylvania has done something similar. He has now ordered that come this Sunday, that anyone who goes to a business of non-essential goods is forced to wear a mask, and the businesses are forced to wear masks, and the businesses are not to do transactions with those who do not wear a mask. Now, I've said from the very beginning, these are the kind of things that stokes the flame of anger under God, because it is oppressive, overly oppressive, and doesn't need to be oppressive. These governors that are coming out with these orders, if you want to recognize that you can see the kingdom of heaven through the things of the world, you can see they're all Democratic governors. I've been saying for all since I started speaking that the Democrats have completely sided with Satan. They are puppets of Satan. They are Satan controlled. And every one of them that people keep voting in are God's judgment to those who are controlled by Satan as well in their hearts. So all the people controlled by Satan are electing these governors controlled by Satan, and the governors have the power. They're giving their authority to these governors, and the governors are oppressing the people because it's a judgment of God. Now, whenever people begin to lose basic freedoms, like this one from Michigan, she was trying to say that you can't go visit a friend at their house, and they're having these big protests about it because it's a violation of the First and the Fifth Amendment. That's why the amendments were important, to keep government in check. But as we know through the years, God has allowed those amendments to be eroded because the hearts of the people have turned from Him. So that's a judgment that your amendment gets taken away from you. That's a judgment of God that you're not right with Him. But all of these Democrats, God has made it plain and just crystal clear to anyone who will see any kind of truth that they are puppets and minions of Satan. If anybody voted for anybody who is a Democrat, then you are getting what you deserve. It's a judgment of God. Repent of this wickedness that you have done, and God will restore you. But they will keep doubling down on it, doubling down on it. They're trying to get as close to a rebellion as they possibly can so they can see just how far they can push people's rights out of the way in the name of something that they can't do anything about in the first place. A virus, it's going to occur, it's naturally occurring, whether it came from a weapons lab or whether it comes from God or whether it comes from nature. You cannot wear a mask and protect yourself from this coronavirus. It may be somewhat effective. It's not completely effective. So what you're doing is you're saying that for the chance that it may be effective, I'm going to remove the rights of the people. This is what angers God. This is what stokes the flame of holy, righteous anger of the people of God. And we can all see where it's heading. As the government becomes oppressive and takes the power away from the people and puts undue burdens and hardships on them while they themselves don't lift a finger to do anything, you clearly can see that Jesus was talking exactly about this kind of situation in the end. Whenever anybody of power puts a burden on those who should not be burdened, that is holy, righteous anger that you feed God. And God is swift to act whenever you light a match under Him. And believe me, they've already lit the match a long time ago. It's now burning like a barn fire. This fire that they're lighting under God, He is letting them do all of this so that all of the people of the world can plainly see whenever the judgment comes that the judgment had to be done for the sake of those who are righteous. He is letting it all play out, just like on autopilot, intervening for His children where need be. I can't even tell you how many times God has intervened in my own life to keep me eating and drinking until the day He comes. For His apostles, His people, His disciples, His friends, His family, they will remain in comfort in this world while the world is thrown far from comfort. And I can testify this happening personally in my own life, as I'm sure some of you who are listening can testify for it. God will keep comfort over his children, but he will take all comfort away from the world. And it happens gradually, just like a frog in a pot of water. You just slowly heat it and the frog will never jump out and it boils to death. That's what God has done to the world. So all of these governors and all of these things that you see making all of these determinations to take freedom away from the people, this is a judgment of God to the people of those states, saying, turn and repent. You see what they're doing. You see they're authoritarian. You see all they want to do is have their power and control. Turn and repent right now while the ashes can be over your forehead. Because if you wait and you do not turn and you do not see it, then the only thing you will see is the fire and brimstone, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. God is giving the United States a chance to turn and repent. Some will, most will not. Most will go along with it like sheeples, and they will go and they will wear their little masks and they will do all that they need to do, and they won't question the government at all. Most will do that. But some will, and some will begin to stand up for their own personal liberties because they realize what is being taken away from them. And those are the ones who God has put his focus on. The ones who will never turn, God is not putting any focus on them anymore. That's already been divided. He is putting his focus on those who can see what is happening, but yet don't know him, so that he can bring all of those lost sheep among them over to his side. God is doing the rightly division before he ever comes. Whenever he comes, it's instantaneous. He's doing all that division right now, and you can see it in the world. One last thing with this. I saw that the governor, Tom Wolf, a Democrat governor with the last name of Wolf. I mean, how specific do you need God to be in order to see it? He has now said that businesses require a mask. The citizens have to wear a mask to go into these businesses. He's told the businesses if a citizen isn't wearing a mask and they come into you, refuse them service. He's told them all of these things. And what does this sound like? If you do not have the mark on your head or on your hand, you cannot buy or sell. This is all preparing the mark of the beast. I don't think it's a mask. I don't think it's a health mask. It's going to be what comes after it. Remember that you are not to treat evil with evil. So if you need to enter into a business and wearing a mask you are against because it violates your rights, if the business asks you to put a mask on, put your mask on and go shop. Do not treat evil with evil. But understand that by your own burden is God going to look out for you, and God will stand up for you when the time comes. Because he sees the undue hardship that you are put through, and that is who takes the stand for you. You lay down your sword, and you do, for God will avenge you. Remember this, my friends. As these laws become wicked and more wicked, let God do the vengeance. Do not treat evil with evil. If you need something from a business and they refuse you service because you won't do something for them, that's their right. Businesses have that right in America. You cannot go and do wicked to them because that right was given to them. Let God avenge you. God bless.